A Calgary man is grateful to be alive today after COVID-19 left him fighting for his life in hospital. Jay Chowdhury thinks he contracted the virus at a Friday prayer meeting in late March. He later spent 16 days on a ventilator where he was placed in a medically induced coma. He's here with us now to tell us his story. Mr. Chowdhury joins us from Calgary. Hi there. It's so great to see you.
Good to hear, and I can't see you, but good to hear from you, Nancy.
Well, I'm glad I can see you because you look extremely healthy, and that's wonderful to say. What an ordeal you've been through.
Yes, I assuming that, I got contracted with COVID on a Friday night. But the thing is that on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was just like a normal person. In fact, I went to work on Monday. On Tuesday, I started feeling a little sick, but not like sick. And then on Wednesday, I felt that I have a little bit of shortage of breath, but I felt that's normal maybe for a few minutes. And on Thursday, I got a call from my family physician saying I should run to the hospital immediately. My wife dropped me at the hospital gate because she was not allowed to come in because of COVID problem. I walked into the emergency room. The nurse came, took my fever, and told me to lie down on a bed. And I passed out. I woke up. And I saw a nurse smiling back at me, and I said, wow, in 24 hours, I got all these pipes running around me, and so much have happened. And she smiled back at me and said, no, it's not 24 hours. Do you know how many days you're here? I said, yeah, I came last night. My wife dropped me last night. And she said, no, it's not last night. You have been here for 16 days. You have been in induced coma for 16 days. It's like a lifeless body. In fact, on the 15th day, the doctor gave up on me. And they were thinking of sending me to another hospital, a bigger one, to do a hemodialysis, to give a last try. But as they were discussing, my body started moving a little bit. They changed their plans, and from that day, I started recovering. So those 16 days was quite a bit of journey for me.
Oh my gosh. So you had no idea, basically, that you were in this coma on a ventilator. You were on a ventilator, correct, for 16 days?
Exactly, full 16 days.
Oh my goodness. And how, I guess, we've heard a lot about people on ventilators and sort of in the acute part of the illness. What happens after that? Like, how did you feel once you woke up, and what sort of symptoms did you experience?
Right. When I woke up, it's a little bit of vague and a lot of confusion that, why I'm here, what happened in the past. And, it's basically you're walking down a tunnel, in a dark tunnel, and you see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And then you start, your brain, your organs started opening up. You started getting a dialogue with your brain that, yeah, maybe a little bit, yes, my wife came, and then you have a blockage. And what did she do? She dropped me, and then it's vague again. Then what did I do after she dropped me? And then slowly it took a day for me to actually recall what exactly happened. But all I know that I went to an ER, I slept on a bed, the nurse brought a bed and said, okay, sleep here, and I'm going to take you. And I don't know, I just passed out. And then I don't know anything between day 1 and day 16.
So what happened after day 16? Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you were in the hospital for a time after that as well.
I was in the hospital for a total of 47 days. And what happened between the 16 days and 47 days after my ICU, I had some side effects. And I was told that once you're in a ventilation for a long time, there are many side effects that body can actually capture. One of the side effects I had, that one of the nerve of my left leg started inoperating, and I couldn't stand. I couldn't, walk. I was incapable at all to move even to the washroom. So days in a hospital in a closed room without any TV or any news that I was watching. So at the end of the 46th day, I was walking with a walker, and I came home. Today's the 9th day, and past 2 days I'm walking slowly without a walker, but I'm still a little bit of disbalanced as I try to walk myself.
That's wonderful that you're walking, though. That's great. Were you surprised that you were able to?
A little bit. I thought it will take a long time because I gave up on the first day because I couldn't stand. They wanted to make me stand. They hold me up, and I collapsed. I fall apart in the ground. And I thought, this is my second chance. It's a new birth for me, I came back to life, fighting with the life and death situation. And I want to walk, I don't want to be on a wheelchair the rest of my life. But when I started walking, it's a brand new experience for me.
And how do you feel otherwise? Like, is your energy affected? I'm interested because like I said, we've heard so much about what it's like to be in the ICU, but very little for how long it takes to recover, other than, it could take a very long time to actually feel normal again, and you can have some damage, of course, done to your lungs.
Right. With all the process here, it will take time to heal my lungs. It will take time for me to be a person of who I was. And definitely I will be who I was. And the energy level is very low. And I will say when you come out of the hospital, being a COVID patient and in a ventilation, it takes time. The energy is not overnight, even though I'm eating normal. It will take time. Sometimes I feel good in the morning. Sometimes I feel bad in the evening. Sometimes I feel bad when I wake up. I just feel I have absolutely no energy even to get up from the bed. Sometimes I feel, there's no energy, so I should sleep longer. So it's taking time. It's one day at a time.
And how are you doing? I mean, you described how many days you spent in that room with, no TV. How are you doing? And how's your family doing? I imagine this would have been a pretty scary experience for them too.
My wife got a little bit of a ride those 16 days because, all you see that is a phone call from a hospital telling you that I'm not alive. And, it's day and night, day and night, day and night. She couldn't sleep. My wife was also positive. During that day, she was on isolation, and I have 3 kids. The most worrying part was that, if she goes back again to the hospital, there's no one to take care of our kids here. So she was in isolation, and now she's good. She's back to work right now. But the thing is, those 16 days were a nightmare. Now, definitely, I feel good. I'm back with the family. It's a brand new experience with the family, coming back with the family, reuniting with the family, reuniting with the community, getting a lot of phone calls, talking to the community as a community worker, as a social worker, It's a joy and a privilege to get back into a real world where I was.
Well, the joy and the privilege is all mine for getting to talk to you, Mr. Chowdhury. I'm so glad for you that you're feeling better, and I wish you all the best in your continued recovery.
It is my pleasure, Vassie, to talk to you this evening.
That's Jay Chowdhury coming to us from Calgary.